What is up, fam? Jessica Vieira here, and welcome back to my YouTube video. Okay, so today we are going to be diving deep into different formats of content. I'm going to be talking about top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel content, and how to match your message to make daily sales. Okay, so this conversation has been coming up a lot because obviously a lot of people are struggling with being seen on social media, whether they're running ads or just organically posting. But today I want to talk about what really connects what you do inside of your courses or your programs and how to connect that through your marketing messaging. And then also just the three different layers of content. I think that it's really important that you understand the types of content and how each of them play an important part, because I know that a lot of people very easily blame the algorithm, or they say that the offer is not right, or like they don't know what they're doing. I tell my students this all the time. The problem is that you're too smart, and that unless you actually learn marketing and unless you actually put that little marketing cap on and you're like, I'm willing to learn how to be a marketer, then you will only ever see yourself as the expert in what you do. Okay. The biggest thing that made me great in the online industry across ads and on social media is not because I was the smartest person. I don't consider myself the smartest person, but I do remember like being committed to learning content and learning copywriting and learning marketing. And I think if you can understand the foundations of how marketing works and how messaging works, then it's a lot easier for you to understand the types of content to create and the stages of content that you create for different types of people and their level of awareness. Okay. So now, most content does not flop because the offer is bad. Okay. Sometimes the offer is bad, but I'll get into that in a minute. It flops because the message doesn't match the buyer's awareness. All right. And that's what the purpose of this video is to go through today. So when you align message, awareness, and the objective, making sales becomes a lot easier. All right. So if you're not getting comments, if you're not getting views, if you're not getting leads, if your sales are inconsistent, but your social media is like a bottom, like it's just a pit. It's like nothing is happening. Like nothing is absolutely happening. Then there is a high chance, not a high chance, but it is true that your messaging is just not connecting with people. So you got to objectively step back and have a little conversation with yourself and just own it and say, my messaging isn't great. It's not good. I don't know content. And I think it's very powerful that when you can own that and say, like, I don't know content, I don't know messaging, I need to learn this. That's when a lot starts to shift, because then you become open to understanding it more and content becomes very, very easy. So when it comes to content, the first things first is you need to understand what level of awareness you're speaking to. Okay. Now you can go and YouTube this once you finish watching this video. There are, in the marketing world, right, there are different layers of awareness types. Okay. So definitely highly recommend go to YouTube. I'm not going to go into depth of all the layers in this video. But there are different layers of awareness. So the first layer is your top of funnel. Okay. Now, your top of funnel is very unaware and problem aware audience. Okay. So the purpose of this stage, basically, I'm going to open up my screen a little bit more. So the purpose of this stage is to interrupt the scroll with a relatable, curiosity-driven idea. And I'm going to do this. Expand awareness and attract curious buyers who didn't know this solution existed. The core message here is, here's why this matters. And the goal is attention, intrigue, giving the that's me, tell me more, indirect response. Okay. So how do I open up my screen now? So the type of content that goes really well with this is more so your reels. Okay. This is your up to 7 second short, bingy reels. Okay. So I'm going to open up my iPad and I'm going to show you a couple of examples of reels that is binge worthy. Okay. So I want you to think about when you're scrolling. Let me just bring up my iPad. Where is it? Yeah. So not now. Cool. So I want you to think about let's just say like in the reel section, okay? All of you are continuously going like this. Oh my gosh, let me turn my sound off. Are continuously scrolling every single day. And this is more of like your clickbaity content, okay? Now, your top of funnel is speaking to unaware. So as I'm going okay, I don't know why it's not letting me turn the sound down for some weird reason, but that is okay. Okay, so we're going to notice, and I'm going to stop it at each reel, okay? So look at this hook. A wealthy man once told me money loves water. It took me years to understand, okay? Now, you'll notice with top of funnel content, normally it's reels. Like reels is top of funnel content because top of funnel content gets pushed out to a cold audience. Cold audience is in reels or on the explore page, okay? But where do most people scroll? They're not scrolling the explore page, they're scrolling reels. So when we have a look at the hooks, it's normally max 20 words that is on a reel, okay? This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 words, okay? So if you can do a hook that's under 20, ideally 15, then that is what makes it binge worthy. That is what makes it very quick for someone to read because this type of content is getting pushed out to people that don't know you yet. And the intention is to get them to your social media to follow you and hopefully comment on your posts. So if we look at this one, for example, then we look at the caption. The caption is very broad. This is very broad content, okay? It's like your clickbait content. I want you to think about your behaviors when you're scrolling. What do you look for? What grabs your attention? What captures you into someone? What makes you even want to go and follow someone, okay? So when we scroll down as well and we have a look, it's very short captions, conversational as well. She doesn't have a CTA there, but we'll go to another one in just a second, okay? If we have a look at this one, Jamie C. Official, she's massive, okay? 8-figure business owner. Look at her hook. Very quick, short hook. 3 lines. Don't ask for more clients. Don't ask for more money. Ask for this instead. That immediately creates that intrigue, okay? And curiosity. Look at the caption. Ask yourself, right? And then she has the caption here. It's a very short caption. There is a CTA, and then there is a CTA, and there is a presentation of like a quiz, right? And then if we look at the engagement, she's got lots of comments, she's got lots of shares, she has lots of likes, but she's like super viral, okay? So this is top of funnel content. If we look at another one.
You're earning good money.
Oh,
That's why I say.
I want to find someone. Okay, let's look at this one. Silly things I did when I was broke versus things I do now that I'm rich and trust myself. Okay, still, it's a very broad hook, right? It's also it's very viral. It's very open hook, yeah? And again, we want to have a look. It's a decent, lots of value in here. And then she does have a call to action, but yeah, that's a good call to action. So when we're thinking of top of funnel content, this is your reels, okay? Few things that you need to have is a really short hook, something that grabs attention. You want to have a keyword. If you don't have a keyword, how are people going to comment on your post? You need to tell people what to do. And then from there, also you can add like follow me, follow my Instagram handle for more tips on X, Y, and Z, okay? Now, when we go to, and I'm just going to close this down. Now, when we go to our middle of funnel, and let me zoom in a little bit because I feel like that this is okay, cool. So middle of funnel content is for problem solution aware people, okay? So the purpose is to speak to people who already believe in the category, so AI, ads, digital products, and are actively looking for the better way. The core message here is, here's what's broken and how my system fixes it, okay? The goal here is to educate, create belief building, mechanism clarity, and it's more of a direct response, okay? So these people are now warmed up, okay? Top of funnel, people that don't really know you yet. This is to bring people into your profile. Middle of funnel is when people start consuming your content, and it's the thing that gets them to bottom of funnel, which is the conversions, right? So when we look at middle of funnel content, And I'll bring up my iPad again. Where are we? Okay. Now, I wish I had all of my old content on my other Instagram account, but unfortunately, I've had to start again. But let's have a look at this. So middle of funnel content would be, and actually I'm going to go to, because I still have some content there. Cool. So middle of content would be carousels. Carousels are more of your nurturing, and it's because you can have up to 20 slides, okay? And in the middle of funnel, we're speaking to people, we're showing them what's broken, what's not working the way that it could be, or here's what I do. You're not telling them the how, because the how is your course, the how is your program, the how is the next step, the how is the CTA, and I'm going to show you in just a second. But you want to get them on the edge of their sheets. You want to give them enough value, present, show them step by step. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what's working for me. This is what I know to be true. Here's what's broken. Here's what people are doing wrong. But here's how I flipped the narrative or flipped the status quo. And then the how is the CTA. So if we look at this is which one was like, I've gotten rid of a lot of my content, but here. No, that's not a good one. I need like a longer one. Sorry, I should have had this prepared. Okay, so 100 ways I use a little AI magic to run my passive income business, okay? I wake up to 1K a day without working too hard, right? Truthfully, I don't work too hard anymore. I have a list of 100 AI co-pilots that work for me 24/7. From 7-figure digital product suites that I turn into low ticket funnels to writing content that gets results just like this. My AI co-pilots help me get results just like this. So I'm talking about what I do, okay? And this is nurturing people. And then here's the CTA. If you want, I wrote 100 ways I use AI in my business, 133 pages, no gatekeeping. I'm sharing my lazy girl secrets. Just comment 100 and I'll send it over you to start binge reading right away, okay? So this is to take people that are already consuming my content into my DMs, okay? Definitely top of funnel content can do the same. It definitely can if it's strong enough in messaging. But your middle of funnel content is more of like your long form carousels and also talking head videos as well. And this is what gets pushed out to your existing audience and gets them over the line. Let me see if I can find another one. Here. I asked my content ATM to write 4 hooks that mirrors my audience deepest unspoken truth, and she gave me sassy conversation crack. Okay. So that type of messaging is not going to be for top of funnel, right? This is for people that already know me, people that already see that I talk about the content ATM. This is more so like middle of funnel, bottom of funnel conversions. But you'll notice I in each one, I'm showing people, I'm giving people value on what I do and why it works. And then the CTA is actually in the caption where I say comment voice and I'll send her over to you right away. So this is more of like a direct bottom of funnel, middle of funnel post where I'm giving value, but then I'm saying here's how to purchase essentially. But I'm not saying like comment voice down below to grab my content ATM course for $97. Like that's not how I'm presenting it, okay? I am conversationally presenting a CTA without saying buy my shit, essentially. Where's another one? I'm sure I've got another one. Okay, here's another one. How I use AI to create and sell digital products in under 30 minutes a day. If I only had 30 minutes and needed to make money this week, I'd build a digital product with AI. So again, showing me what I would do, okay? Here's exactly how I do it. Fast, simple, and so feminine. Blah, 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 breaking it down at the end. This is a tool I wish I had 3 years ago, okay? So I'm showing people how easy it is to do something that was difficult in the past. So this is like a challenging the status quo, a narrative flip, right? And then I'm saying, comment Jess AI and I'll send you the link to try my AI for building and selling your own digital course. Okay. Again, this is middle of funnel content, right? So carousels typically are really good for middle of funnel. They can work for top of funnel if you have like a viral top of funnel messaging angle. Definitely like top of funnel messaging angle. And you can even see in the explore page like what carousels are top of funnel carousels, because they're the ones that gain the most amount of reach, comments, all the rest. But you'll notice if you go and have a look at like 20 of them, that they all are very broad messaging, very vague in messaging. They're not talking, they're really not, people aren't really talking about themselves, but it's for a very wide audience. Okay. Now, bottom of funnel content. Bottom of funnel is the close. Okay. It's where you make the case that your solution is the best, fastest, safest versus everything else. Okay. So this is some of the examples that I just showed you before. It's a very direct sales approach. You're like talking about your specific product and giving examples of how it works and what it looks like and how amazing it is, and showing like essentially like somewhat case studies in it. And then you're taking people to the CTA. Okay. Bottom of funnel content is also your stories. It's also the conversations that you have in the DMs, what you give people in the DMs before you ask for a sale. Okay. So what I really would love for you to do is for you to really just go and do an audit of your social media. Go and have a look at your social media. And I want you to think, are you speaking to, in your content that you're creating, are you just speaking to bottom of funnel? I notice a lot of people just speak to bottom of funnel, but they're not speaking to the middle of funnel and the top of funnel. Okay. And then the next thing that I want you to have a look at is, are you known for like one thing? When you are positioning yourself in the online space, you want to have a few keywords that are infused through everything that you do. Okay. So for example, mine is AI. I talk since moving into AI and revamping all of my courses and all my products into AI. Now every single post that I create is all about AI. AI in the caption, AI in the carousel, AI in the reel. Like everything is focused around AI, because when people come to my social media, I want them to think, oh wow, she's the AI girly in the online education space. So for you, I want you to go and have a look at your profile, and I want you to objectively think, when you look at your profile, do you feel like it is a true, like that you understand what it is that you do? And if you were to put yourself into your ideal client's world, if you were to swap places with them, and someone was meeting you for the first time and they came to your profile, do you honestly think that they know what you do? And if the answer is no, and you can even ask like your friends or your family, if the answer is no, then that means that you're not known for anything. You are not known for anything. So you have to dial this in, because if you are creating top of funnel content and you're talking about one thing, and then people come to your page and your middle of funnel and your bottom of funnel content isn't even aligned with the thing that you're talking about at the top, and you're talking about all these different random things, you're not centered on one problem, one solution, then you're really speaking into a void. Okay. The second thing that you also have to look at is, you can't just speak to people that are product aware. You have to warm people up. Most of the market are not ready to buy. If you're only speaking to people that are ready to buy, that understand that your solution is the best, fastest, and safest thing for them, then you're missing out on your problem aware and your unaware audience. And that is a larger market. And that's what makes you stand out on social media. Because if you're only speaking to the people that are ready to pay, that already know that your product exists, or are the people that are the diehard fans that always buy from you, then you're not speaking to these people, and you're missing massive opportunity. Massive opportunity. Most of your ideal clients are falling into the top of funnel and the middle of funnel category. That's their level of awareness. So if I was you, if you were using AI right now, I would go into your AI and say to it, give me 30 top of funnel, unaware / problem aware cold hooks for my Instagram reels that are maximum 20 words max. Okay. Then you're going to do the same for middle of funnel content for problem solution aware content and ask for another 30 hooks that fall into that category. And then you're going to see the difference between the both and how they're positioned and how they're written. Okay. And then from there, you can start creating content into these two categories so that when you are pitching and you are adding your CTAs to the end of your content, you're giving people a reason to take action, giving them a reason to take action. So that is it for today's episode. I was going to say lesson because I'm so used to teaching. Comment down below if whatever gold nuggets showed up for you, what you found the most valuable. Your feedback definitely helps me plan for the next episode that's going to come out. My goal this year is to be able to film one video a day from Monday to Friday. I'm trying to keep accountable in doing this. I really want to grow on multiple different platforms this year. So that's one of my goals. So if you help me, then I can make sure that I am creating good episodes that go out to you. Other than that, there are a whole bunch of links underneath this video. I've got all different courses, different programs that you can come and jump in on. You can pick whatever fits you best, or just reach out on social media if you have any questions.